Universe Gate, a Sci-Fi Channel original movie. Saturday, 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific.
This week, Sci-Fi Buzz mingles with the immortals as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Highlander. We'll rub shoulders with the star of the film series, Christopher Lambert. Hang with the hunk who plays television's Highlander, Adrian Paul. And fawn all over scrumptious Tracy Scoggins, the actress who breathed life into Witch Cassandra on the TV series. Plus, our own Harlan Ellison bites the hand that feeds him.
I'm going to attack the channel again. I'm going to get in trouble. I may not be here next week.
Prepare. Stand by. The Buzz.
Sci-Fi.
Get ready.
Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi Buzz.
Oh, look at the buzzers, just embarrassing themselves. It's Tracy Scoggins back there, of course. And ever since she got here at Sci-Fi Central, no one's paid attention to me. In 4 years, no one has ever asked for my autograph. Well, the reason why Tracy is here, she's been making appearances on the Highlander series, and we wanted to have her on because this is the 10th anniversary of Highlander. Who would have predicted, 10 years ago, this obscure fantasy action film, directed by a music video director, by the way, would break new ground and then spin off into this television series, a very successful one. Who knew?
I'm Conor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, and I am immortal.
When Highlander, starring Christopher Lambert, was released in 1986, no one could have predicted its enormous popularity. The film has spawned sequels, a hit television show, and some of the most devoted fans this side of Star Trek.
MacLeod, I was born 2,437 years ago.
At first, the movie's unusual storyline about an immortal race that can only be killed when their heads are chopped off left many American moviegoers bewildered, as did director Russell McKay's cutting-edge visual style. Although the film now attracts a growing cult audience, 10 years ago, it was a bona fide box office bomb.
Well, I always believed in the movie, so it was in some ways it was actually never really a shock to me. It was sort of a shock that it got panned so much and that it sort of lasted 4 days or whatever in the cinema. I mean, that was probably more of a shock than the shock that it's done so well over a period of time, and it seems to be increasing in its popularity.
Although the American public initially snubbed the film, Highlander was an immediate hit in Europe. The success of the film overseas allowed producers Peter Davis and Bill Panzer to create 2 sequels, both again starring Christopher Lambert. And while the role of Conor MacLeod helped Lambert become a star, the actor says he is unlikely to play the Scottish swordsman again.
No, I think I've done my bit. I mean, a trilogy is good. It's impossible to say never, but for the time being, I'm done with Highlander.
While the Lambert films proved successful in Europe, American audiences barely noticed them. So what finally caused the Highlander craze to catch on in the States?
TV series. In all fairness, I think that once we decided that this was a proper vehicle for American and worldwide television, it found a whole new audience.
Signs for the prophecy are all in place. You're all that stands in my way.
Highlander, the series, debuted in 1992 with Adrian Paul stepping into the lead immortal role. Today, some 10 to 12 million viewers tune in each week to watch the adventures of Duncan MacLeod. Many of these viewers are hardcore Highlander fans who scrutinize every aspect of the action-packed saga.
When we were making the first feature, we thought we were making a film. We didn't think that we'd be starting something where you make certain statements about the legend. You're stuck with it, baby. I mean, you cannot change these basic tenets.
Finished your beauty sleep?
We're making history here, MacLeod. No point in rushing it.
There's groups here in America and in England and Scotland who sort of go up into the hills and dress up like Highlanders and repeat Connery's opening speech, we came down from centuries. And they know this film line by line, and more than I do. I mean, it's quite extraordinary, the clans that this film has sort of organized.
This fall is a particularly exciting time for Highlander fans. The television series just began its 5th season. The Highlander website has never been hotter, and Republic Pictures has teamed with the creators of the original film for a 10th anniversary Laserdisc edition. The special director's cut of Highlander features a pristine copy of the movie, never-before-seen footage, and an array of other Highlander goodies. And yes, fans can look forward to more feature films in the future. In fact, producers Davis and Panzer are developing an all-new trilogy for Miramax Films. It seems the whole Highlander concept has become immortal.
I mean, it's a great thought. Who wants to live forever, who dares to love forever. It's a fantastic notion. I mean, you know, it's endlessly romantic, endlessly intriguing, and we haven't even scratched the surface of some of the possibilities.
My name is Christmas Tara. I run the official Highlander fan club for the films and TV series. We have an official fan club that we'd like to tell you about. It's $18 a year in the U.S. to join, and you get a membership card and 4 issues of our newsletter a year. If you'd like more information on our organization, you want to send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the following address.
Our 10th anniversary Highlander hijinks continue with TV series star Adrian Paul and his captivating cohort, Tracy Scoggins. Next.
This Sci-Fi Channel program is brought to you by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth.
How many number ones there are? This many. It's not just one thing. It's everything. Not just today. Every day.
Side dish steals the show when it's creamy Velveeta shells and cheese. It's not the same, to protect himself and his family, a man of peace has declared war. Steven Seagal, Keenan Ivory Wayans, The Glimmer Man, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
One magazine speaks to the sailor, sailing world. Learn how to maneuver small boats in tight quarters and large ones where inches count. Read about major regattas like the America's Cup and the latest developments in professional sailing. Guys ready? If you want to improve your sailing performance, you should read Sailing World too.
Call 800-652-4242. Subscribe now and get 12 issues of Sailing World for only $16. Order now.
You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
CNET, the digital domain. 3 shows bringing you to the edge of technology. This week, go behind the scenes with Metallica as they rock the web, and Michael Keaton. He's all over the silver screen, but we'll show you where to find him online. Plus, take a ride in a state-of-the-art eye in the sky and hit the road in a supercar. All on CNET, the digital domain, the best way to keep up with today's technology. 10 a.m. Eastern, Sci-Fi Sunday.
Watch out, immortals. Yeah, our tribute to Highlander continues, and this its 10th anniversary. You know, a lot of movies spawn TV pilots, but very few turn into successful series, especially a fantasy that features immortals. But Highlander certainly has done it, and in a very big way. And one of the main reasons for the success, its star, Adrian Paul.
I'm Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, and I think you fights with me.
Here we are, born to be kings, we're the
There's a reason Highlander's Duncan MacLeod is called the sexiest immortal on television. Adrian Paul, the British actor who plays MacLeod, throws everything he's got into the role. Paul, a former dancer choreographer, has been called a cross between Errol Flynn and Douglas Fairbanks, and for good reason.
because I sword fight a lot. That was actually my swordmaster who actually fought both of them. He keeps saying, you know, you're a cross between Douglas Fairbanks and Errol Flynn, and you've done this and you're great, and so that's nice of him. But you know, so that's where that came from.
The live actor undoubtedly appreciates the praise. Though it takes 4 or 5 hours to shoot a 1-minute sequence, Paul has become enamored with the art of swordplay.
The physicality and the beauty and grace of a sword fight, it's a real movement. There's a real, it's almost a dance-oriented movement with a sword fight. You have a flow that extends. It's almost as an extension of yourself. It's the same in martial arts. You extend your persona, your being out, and you use your force to move objects or to do things. The same with sword work. It's a flow. It's just a beauty and grace that it has. It's like a dance.
Based on the popular feature films, the Highlander series revolves around a 400-year-old immortal who fights the forces of evil. The show's fantasy aspects allow for historical jaunts back in time. Ironically, Paul says this plot device helps Highlander confront contemporary issues.
And we keep repeating history all the time. And basically, I think with being an immortal, you keep saying, look, listen, there was this time of 200 years ago that you were doing exactly the same thing. You know, so, you know, that's sort of the message, you know, why do we have to keep doing that? Don't we learn?
As is often the case with high-profile, handsome hunks, Paul has acquired his fair share of adoring fans. For the most part, he enjoys the attention, but not when the line is blurred between Duncan MacLeod, strapping immortal, and Adrian Paul, hard-working actor.
I get stopped all the time, and I get followed sometimes, so it's fun. It's very flattering, you know. That's the line that I like to draw. You know, people are really nice. If they start going over the line, then I have to stop them. But it's been fun to a point.
Well, out of that story, I got to know. Oh, well, give me some dirt on Adrian Paul.
On Adrian, let's see. Well, this is a little juicy. We're filming our love scene, and I guess the director and pretty much the rest of the crew kind of got into it and didn't say cut. And I finally said, if somebody doesn't say cut, I'm going to get some birth control in a second.
No.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
No, he's
steamy.
He's a very sexy young man. I mean, he's a good actor, and he's very well structured.
Are you the witch of Dawn and Woods? Some say that. Don't be afraid, Duncan MacLeod.
Tell me about Cassandra, your character on Highlander. What is the key to playing a good witch?
I think just being a little off the rails in real life, you know, just sort of having a certain flair for the odd. Yeah. I've always been fascinated with science fiction and the occult and anything that's a little bit not taught in Sunday school. She's also an English witch. So the first time we see Cassandra, she's in a hut outside the village in the 17th century.
So you've already had this love scene with Adrian Paul's character, Duncan MacLeod. Will that continue?
I know, but I can't tell you.
You'd have to kill me.
I mean, see, the first time Duncan meets me, he's just a little boy. And even then, I'm like, so, hi, welcome to my cabin.
You're sick.
I know.
What is the youngest man you've ever had a relationship with?
12.
Scoggins was a regular on the primetime soap operas Dynasty and The Colbys, but she's probably most familiar to sci-fi fans from her role as Cat Grant, the sassy society columnist, on the first season of Lois and Clark.
Are you a sci-fi fan?
Yes, I am.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
From little?
From little.
Give me some of your favorites.
Well, no, I mean, I was very definitely an original Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And I play a Cardassian on Deep Space Nine.
This is kind of Star Trek-y, this outfit of yours.
This is Captain Kurt Green. No, I'm a lifelong trekker. I used to carry a picture of Mr. Spock in my wallet because, see, when you have these eyebrows and these ears, you kind of want to fit in somewhere.
Look at those ears. Turn to the side there.
How about that?
Those are
I look like I should be cooking and baking cookies in a tree.
Prophecy's fulfilled. Now you leave.
Well, there is one more thing.
So we will all be looking forward to your next appearance on Highlander, which should be coming up real soon, right?
Coming up very soon.
Okay. Now, compared to all the appearances in your career, how does this rate here, your appearance on Sci-Fi Buzz?
This is the best ever.
Come on, hold on. We better take a break.
Thank you.
Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Kleenex, please.
When we rematerialize, Harlan Ellison sounds off. Do not stray from this frequency.
A small-time detective, an amnesia victim with a dangerous past.
You're an assassin working for the United States government. Cripple your life!
Now, the biggest case of his career could be the biggest mistake of his life.
When we first met, you were all like, oh, phooey, I burned the darn muffins. Now, you go into a bar, sailors come running out. What up with that?
Gina Davis.
Honk if there's any trouble.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, so Miss Daisy, I be honking.
The Long Kiss Goodnight. Rated R. Special preview Saturday in selected theaters.
Is this how you start your day? It's okay. Need a little pick-me-up? Aw. Look, perfect nutrition is for perfect people. Then we don't know any. That's why there's Boost, the delicious shake that's got 25 vitamins and minerals, with carbohydrates and protein instead of caffeine, for real energy that lasts. So if your day isn't 100% nutritious, maybe it's time for a Boost. Boost, the perfect snack for imperfect people.
I've got your wing coverage. Close for missile.
You are watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
What's big, yellow, and can save you lots of green? Yellow Tag Savings Days at Lechmere. Look for the yellow tags and save big on top brand name out of the carton electronics and appliances. Brands like Sony, Toshiba, RCA, Maytag, and more. Save 50% on camcorders. Save 40% on portable TVs and VCRs. Save 33% on big screen TVs. And save $10 to $300 on appliances. Great brands, all at great prices. Yellow Tag Savings Days at Lechmere.
A shipment of the nerve toxin DZ5 was hijacked.
Fasten your seatbelts and hang on tight. Hope there's a good movie on this flight. Pay-per-view takes you beyond excitement.
There's enough nerve agent here to wipe out half the eastern seaboard. The Pentagon is gonna shoot us down.
I'm losing control of the airplane.
Now you have your orders. Execute them.
Everybody down!
Kurt Russell, Steven Seagal, executive decision. Non-stop thrills come crashing home on pay-per-view.
There is talk of an X-Files feature. It's more than talk, though. I've had serious meetings on it. The stars are both going to be involved.
If Chris Carter still plans to shoot his X-Files feature next summer, he might have to find himself a new lead actress. It seems the show's co-star, Gillian Anderson, does not want to appear in the film. The much sought-after actress says she'd love to do an X film once the series ends for good, but she would rather pursue other acting opportunities during her summer breaks.
Sometimes it's hard to come back to the seriousness of the situation.
But for those of you who can't get enough of the Fox series, I've got some good news for you. Due to the popularity of the rock compilation album Songs in the Key of X, Warner Brothers Records is planning to release another X-Files CD. Entitled The Truth and the Light, More Music from the X-Files, the new disc will contain show composer Mark Snow's original music, dialogue from the series, and an introduction from Chris Carter. And that's the latest buzz.
Let me direct your attention to this here. It's a little banged up. It is a newspaper clipping, and it's dated February 16th, 1952. And it is photographs of the people who founded the Cleveland Science Fiction Society in 1951-52. And if you'll notice on here on the right is a pencil neck geek reading Astounding Science Fiction. That pencil neck geek is myself at age 17. Now, the guy who did this article, Jack Warfel, came to the clubhouse and in Cleveland when I was just in high school, and he did this piece on science fiction. The article is called "They're All Ready to Visit the Man in the Moon." And it says at least 30 Clevelanders are ready to leave for the moon. Departure date sometime within the next 5 or 10 years, according to Harlan Ellison. He established the deadline following a bi-weekly evening meeting of the space-headed club members at 10217 St. Clair Avenue. Not all the members, including industrial engineers, school teachers, housewives, physicians, and college students, are essentially moon-minded. Moon-minded. You like that? Some have their sights set on Mars. This is 1952. People talk about Mars. They must be crazy, right? Others are more enthusiastic about a quick trip to Venus or a more extended fling through the Milky Way and outer space. Conversation with us at jog trot as I enter the place, blah, 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 and he gets it all the titles wrong. He doesn't know the difference between articles and stories. And then he comes down, he says, Stephen Schulteis of Warren, Ohio, new club president, introduced me to several members, and I waded into the lunar swim. There's nothing but hyperbole and disingenuousness in all of this. The heading is Flights of Fantasy, it says. Quote, interplanetary flights are in the immediate future unless there's a drastic change in worldviews, declared Ellison, 17, of East High School. The flights will surely be government-sponsored. Now, let me stop for a moment. This is 1952, and I said we'd have space travel within the next 5 to 10 years, right? 5 years later, on the button, October 4th, 1957, Russia sent up Sputnik, the first successful launch of the first artificial Earth satellite. 5 years to the dot. And 12 years later, only 12 years later, we were walking on the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, the Apollo Saturn 11, July 20th, 1969. We were right on. But here was this mook, this pinhead, this imbecile, doing this routine, making people who were reading science fiction look like jerks. Because he didn't know anything, because he was stupid, because he didn't have any information. It goes on and on and on and on like this. I want to tell you about this guy. This guy was such a jerkazoid that 5 years later, when Sputnik went up, I came back from where I was. I think I was on leave from the Army, and I came back to find this yutz so that I could point out to him, show him the article, which I still had, and show it to him and say, how does this make you feel, you pinhead? But unfortunately, he escaped my wrath because he died. My wrath, however, is in full flight and full measure now, because the Sci-Fi Channel has been showing a 1-hour documentary, and I use the word documentary really loosely in this case, about the World Science Fiction Convention that was held in Anaheim over Labor Day, 1996. And it is a terrible piece of work. It's a terrible piece of work because it does the same thing that these documentaries always do. The host is a guy named Sean Dunnelan. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right or not. Sean Dunnelan is an Adam Sandler wannabe. I mean, this is a guy who acts as if he's got tapioca pudding for brains. He runs around holding up a piece of cloth or you know, a wig, a fake wig, screaming that it's Shatner's wig, and they think this is clever. Now, I talked to the people who produced this show. It was done by Triage Entertainment. They're very nice people, and they worked hard at this. I don't blame them. They were given the assignment 3-4 days before they had to shoot it. They had to shoot an hour documentary. They didn't know who to talk to. They did not have an advisor. This show is an outsider's idea of primitive science fiction, the kind of crap that was being done by this reporter in 1952. Everyone knows about SF now. Why in the world, if you're going to be going to science fiction, do you have conversations with Roger Corman about life on Mars? First of all, the life on Mars thing is just, you know, primitive bacteria billions of years ago. There is no life on Mars. But here's Roger Corman saying, well, when I heard this, what I want to do is make a movie about life on Mars. Ha, ha, ha. And he's making one called Mars Lives. This is crap. This is the kind of adolescent, childish stuff that should not be done. Now, nobody minds. Nobody minds if it's 60-40 entertainment as opposed to content. There's ways of doing the content stuff so that it's not boring, so that it's not dull. There are impassioned people out there. Instead of using that herky-jerky 5-second intercut pseudo-MTV chaotic style, they should have done some serious filming. Make it look serious, but they didn't. Nobody had the scene in which A.E. Van Vogt, old A.E. Van Vogt, got his award, a great and touching moment when an entire auditorium of people stood up and applauded him. They didn't cover the wonderful conversation between Joe Straczynski and Ross Pavlett on is there God? Is there an existence of God? It's all over the net now. People are downloading it so they can exchange copies of it. None of that was covered. And when I talked to Triage, they said, well, we did the best we could. We wanted to give a rounded feeling. You don't give a rounded feeling by doing the origami panel and not doing the Hugos. There were just little snippets of the Hugos and very little of the retro Hugos. It was not, in fact, a proper kind of representation of the most important science fiction event of the year. What you have got to do is start treating the medium seriously, as it is treated by most everybody in the world. Everybody knows science fiction. You don't have to do these primary level kind of things anymore. This is a disgraceful show, this Worldcon show. Everybody I know was furious about it, just off about it. And they started calling me, what are you going to say about it? And I watched it. And I'm on it myself. And I look like a jerk just like everybody else. And I said, I'll say something about it. Well, now I've said something about it. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea whether the Sci-Fi Channel will get its act together at long last after all these years or not. But I said what I had to say. Thank you for listening.
Where am I?
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. All my joints got nuts. Mine don't. Because sometimes you feel like it. Sometimes you...
Too many recipes? Too little time? Try Lipton Recipe Secrets. For perfect roast chicken, get your recipes and seasonings all in one place. Lipton Recipe Secrets. It's all you need to know.
The internet and a tidal wave of high-tech companies have opened the biggest window of opportunity this country's seen in decades. The need for certified network professionals means hundreds of thousands of new jobs for people who like to work with computers. Jobs with good salaries and advancement. Jobs we can train and certify you for in just 6 months to a year. Skills that help build companies and no downsizing can take away. Make your own break. For the center near you, call 1-800-TRAINING now.
You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
T.C. Calloway. Wall Street didn't suit him. Chris Kelly. She's just begun to fly.
Get used to it.
Corey McNamara. Her aim is true.
Oh, God.
Victor Del Toro has just begun to fight.
Think of me as Blue.
Lieutenant Anthony Palermo, the man in charge.
Are you across the line on this thing?
There beats the beach.
They can run, but we can fly.
On USA and nowhere else. Pacific Blue. Sunday nights at 8.
We have had some fun tonight. Thank you for being with us. Before we go, we want to thank... Goodness gracious. We want to thank Tracy for coming by the Buzz, right? Everybody say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Certainly. We have a parting gift for you. Let me get this for you.
Oh, thank you.
Take an eye with you.
A big ball.
There you go. Absolutely. Did you have a ball here?
I had a ball. Thank you.
Now, we didn't even mention your exercise video. You have one out, don't you?
I have 2 out.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Lead us in some aerobics.
Okay.
Sci-Fi aerobics here on the Buzz. See you next week, everybody. And do it with swords, too. There's a way to take off ugly weight, huh? 10 pounds of ugly fat. Your head. I'm just kidding now.